Okay, this is the final step that a non citizen parent to a U.S. citizen infant must do. You must remember that the first two steps to obtain the birth certificate and the U.S. passport, the non citizen spouse or parent must supply for the first two approvals for the infant due to the relationship of one parent being a U.S. citizen and the other parent being a non citizen, U.S. citizen. So, the first process, if approved, they had to have uh, submitted their ties to their country. They had to. There's no changing the narrative. Oh, no, they only had to. No. They had to submit their IDs, their birth certificate of their country, their ties to their country, and then, of course, the U.S. citizen had to submit their evidence of the relationship and their ties to the U.S. to substantiate the approval of a birth certificate. Then the second actual step, because they're in a foreign country, had to do the same thing again the second time to obtain a U.S. passport for the infant. Here's where everything goes wrong. The visa must be applied for the non-citizen on a non-immigrant visa status to accompany the infant, because now the infant, through the embassy, has completed birth certificate for the infant as a U.S. citizen and passport as a U.S. citizen. Now, I don't know what planet you people are on, but now the infant in a foreign country is recognized as a foreigner. So, at some time point, without all the information be given to the parents, now the country recognizes the infant as a foreigner. And two things will occur inevitably if nothing's changed or nothing gets addressed. One, the child has to have a visa to be in the country, in the foreign country. Two, that fees and are applicable and penalties can be applied to the infant, all the way up to the level of deportation orders to the child. Mind you, it's an infant. If the U.S. citizen leaves the country, leaves the baby with the non-citizen, says, "Oh, okay, I'll come back for you." Okay, and that's 9 times out of 10 in foreign countries. U.S. citizens go abroad, get into these relationships, and they leave children. I'm not one of them. I didn't come to this foreign country for a relationship. Let's get that clear. So, addressing what had happened. After you get the birth certificate, the passport, now the foreign country will recognize the infant as a foreigner in their country. So it's the process of the baby must get a visa to pay penalties for staying in the country, in a foreign country. And if it's not addressed, it will escalate to overstay fees. And then the final step, if not addressed, deportation of the child. Now, I know officials in the embassy, the United States Embassy, know this. There's no uneducated staff member in the U.S. Embassy in any foreign country, unless we're hiring idiots in our embassy, which I don't foresee. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that we are hiring, subcontracting. No, I just don't see that either. I see staff members being discriminating those non-citizens with U.S. citizen infants at the time of application of a visa to accompany the child, because at some level, at some time point, if nothing is addressed on a dual citizenship level, that the child will be deported and separated from the parent. That's fact. You can't change the narrative. If nothing changed of the status of the infant, it will occur. If the U.S. citizen, the parent that's U.S. citizen, has of course, the opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to take the child with me. Again, the embassy is letting it occur to where the family would be broken up, and you're separating the parent from the infant. So that's what happened. Even though the first step, that the parent, the non-citizen, went to the U.S. Embassy, gave all their information of the strong ties to their country to gain U.S. birth certificate of an infant. 2, that the application must accompany after the birth certificate is approved. Now you have to start addressing the U.S. passport, because now the foreign country recognizes that's a U.S. baby, a U.S. citizen infant in our country. So now you have to apply for a passport. That, again, the non-citizen goes into the U.S. Embassy and gives them their information along with the U.S. citizen parent. Both go in to the U.S. Embassy to provide the requirements to meet and get approved for the U.S. passport for the infant. Then we're at where we're at now. You would assume it's a no-brainer, but no. You have to again apply for a visa and go through the application process for the visa. The question becomes, if everything, the first 2 are approved, the common sense would be no-brainer. As long as you're going to you show us the same documents that got you approved for those 2 levels, and we recognize the ties that you have to your country, what's your reasoning behind visiting, accompanying with the child to America with the visa, for applying for the visa? You wouldn't, the normal questions after you present what the non-citizen had done to achieve birth certificate and passport common sense would be, okay, oh, I understand. You need to travel with the baby to the U.S. to leave and then return. Can you show us outside of those documents that you submitted, what other ties that you have to your country? You show business license, you show support of what you do for your family, you show, do you have property, you show us the bank account. Those four things that you would assume, okay, that's good, that should meet those requirements. If there were additional outside of the first two approvals for the birth certificate and passport. Well, you would show them your business license, that you own a business. Then you would show, hey, are your ties in good with standing in your taxes in that country? Oh, okay, ma'am, can you show us that you're clear? On your background check. Can you show us your bank account? Can you show us your ties of, did you get a round trip ticket? Can you show us your ties of how you help your family? Can you show us do you have property? With that, hey ma'am, we see you got strong ties from the first two applications of this birth certificate. We approved you on that. You showed us on the second for the passport, you showed us again that your ties to your country. We're going to approve that. When it came to the visa process, the documents that you foresee in this file were never viewed by the official, but also the process of the birth certificate and the process of the passport for the infant. The official at the embassy told her specifically, the parent, I don't want to see that, I don't want to see that. Well, at some time point when you're speaking so fast, when you're an American, you're intimidating the foreigner, the immigrant, because they're taken back. Whoa. So this document was given, which is a denial piece of paper, due to showing that you didn't have enough strong enough ties for us to give you a visa to accompany your infant, that you had done everything to get approval for the birth certificate and the passport. Hypocrisy at its best. Or the officials at the embassy are biased and discriminating against mothers or parents to U.S. citizen infants. That's what happened. And those are the documents that are officially from this country and the ties to this country. And the parent was denied. So I'm at a standstill. I don't know what planet people are on, but something needs to be done about this.